All right, everybody, welcome back to the most mediocre team builder that you have ever experienced. I've got my match with Caleb coming up. Just wanted to go through, take a few minutes, talk about what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing it, all that good stuff. You can go ahead and see the team on the screen there. Let me pull up Caleb's team on my phone here just so I can make sure I don't shortchange the thought process. There we go. So, looking at Caleb's team, obviously I think his starters there are probably the two most offensive threats he's got there. Stoutland can be somewhat of a problem too, depending on what kind of set he brings. He gets a lot of coverage moves and stuff like that. But Incineroar and Sceptile are both pretty big hitters. He's brought Girder every time so far from all the matches that I've watched, and so that is something I prepared for in my team building, just because like a sleep or a rest sleep talk Girder has the potential to be the most annoying thing in the world. So um, I think I've got some pretty good ways to deal with it though. So first member of the team here is Bubbles. Scald, Ice Beam, Hidden Power Grass, Toxic. It's a pretty defensive set. Toxic is just to kind of wear things down. Obviously, Scald is just a good stab move. I can hit that pretty much all the time, with the exception of, obviously I would not want to hit that against a Sceptile, and then the Storm Drain Gastrodon would be a problem as well. I don't think Wishcash gets Storm Drain. I want to check on that before I keep going and say something dumb here. Wishcash does not get it. It gets Hydration, which is the Rain Dance. Yeah. So basically that's for anything that is not Sceptile or Gastrodon there. Pretty much everything else can kind of get some chip damage from Scald there. Hidden Power Grass obviously is a good option for the Gastrodon if it decides just to switch in, because other than that, I don't really have a lot of good options to hit Gastrodon. Like I said, he resists the Scald. Ice Beam's not going to do that much. I get things like Shadow Ball and stuff like that, but nothing other than Hidden Power Grass to really do some damage. Um, and then Toxic is there, if I'm just wanting to wear something down. Leftovers for longevity. This set's pretty straightforward. Next, we got the Young Plastic here. I'm bringing the Psychic Z Crystal with Psychic this week, just because this really, really, really chunks the girder. And depending on how his EV spread is this week, this can just kind of, either chunk him, finish him off, or maybe just take him out completely, even with the EV light. So this is what I'm bringing this week. Obviously, Flamethrower is just really good stab move, good for Cryogonal and Sceptile and the butterfly thing there. Was it Vivian? Yeah, that's his name. Hidden Power Grass for the same reason. Wishcash and Gastrodon are likely switch-ins, expecting flamethrowers and things like that. And Magmortar doesn't typically get any sort of coverage moves that are good there, and so I'm going to rock the Hidden Power Grass and hopefully maybe take him by surprise if he brings them. He may not bring either one of them. I find it unlikely that he would bring both for sure, but I just wanted to make sure, because a lot of these Pokemon that I have, like specifically these first three, Gastrodon is a really, really good switch in to all three of them almost all the time. And so I just want to make sure I had options for that inevitable switch if it happened. Focus Blast I was originally running a Phytinium Z Focus Blast to hit Incineroar, because I don't like running Focus Blast otherwise, because I miss literally every time. But I think I'm going to leave it on there just in case I need to have a good option, because otherwise, I don't have anything to hit Incineroar. It's immune to Psychic, Flamethrower does nothing, Hidden Power Grass does nothing, so Focus Blast is the best option that I have for it. Hopefully I'll get lucky and either not have to hit it at all or land it if I do hit it. And so I need to be aware of that, but I think in the most ideal version of the scenario, Magmortar is not who I would ideally be using to try to take down Incineroar. I think Passimian and Vaporeon do that job, um, a lot more reliably. So hopefully I don't have to rely on hitting a Focus Blast, but I have it there just in case. So I don't just, you know, I don't want him to come in and just be able to like hit Swords Dance for days or something like that. So I've got it just in case. Next, we've got an Expert Belt, Electivire. I'm actually bringing a special Electivire this week for the same reason. Or for some of the same reasons, excuse me. I wanted to be able to run Hidden Power Grass for the Gastrodon and the Whiscash. I wanted to be able to run Psychic for the Girder. Flamethrower is really good for the Sceptile, who has, pretty good switch-ins to my electric type moves anyway, and then obviously Thunderbolt is a good stab for anything that doesn't resist it or is immune to it. Expert Belt just gives me a little bit more damage. Um, this speed is just to make sure that I outspeed anything that is base 80 and below, so that is the the Stoutland, the Driftblim, things like that. The Cryogonal and the Sceptile are going to be faster than me anyway, and so that's why I'm running Modest this week, so I can get a little bit of extra power output since Electivire's special attack is a little bit lower. So hopefully this one puts in work. Now, Rafiki here is pretty much going to scare out the Incineroar every time because I have the Defiant ability, and so if he intimidates me instead of lowering my attack, it's actually going to end up raising it by a stage, because the Intimidate will lower it one stage, and then Defiant will kick in and raise it by 2 stages, and then it does not want to take a close combat. So I think between Rafiki and Bubbles here, we should have enough to take care of the Incineroar. So we've got that going there. The first matchup is going to be interesting depending on what I see on team preview, because I know sometimes he likes to lead the Incineroar, but he also likes to lead Sceptile, and if he leads Sceptile while I'm in with Rafiki here, I really don't want to like take a Leaf Storm right out of the gate. That would suck, and so we'll just have to kind of see what we got going there, but this is just to make sure I speed tie with the other base 80 Pokemon so I'm not outsped. Pretty straightforward set there. McFlurry the Musharna. Energy Ball, again for the Gastrodon, Wishcash type Pokemon. Psychic, really good for Girder. Moonlight, in case I need to get a little bit of HP back. I have Baton Pass, just because I wasn't really sure what I wanted in this last slot. I originally thought of just throwing like Toxic on there, but I don't know who I would want to Toxic. I think in most cases I would want to just hit for damage. He doesn't have a lot of really bulky Stally types, again, other than potentially that Sleeping Rest Talk set for the Girder. And I wouldn't want to Toxic that if he was just going to rest it off anyway. That wouldn't help me any. And I would rather just go for Psychics against that. So I don't think there's anything that I would want to hit Toxic on. Nothing seems like it would be an advantageous matchup, and so I have Baton Pass in case I need to maybe just get a little bit of initiative because I don't have a whole lot of that on my team. I'm not running Volt Switch on Bubba Sparks this week, so I've got the U-turn on Rafiki and I've got Baton Pass here, and then you'll see on Bocephus I also have U-turn, but just in case I need to get a good switch somewhere, and like I said, Moonlight just for longevity if I get hit by a knockoff from Girder or Incineroar or something like that. Maybe I can just get a little bit of health back there. I don't really have anything to hit against Incineroar, which is another potential issue. So hopefully Baton Pass will help me to get out and be able to get into something that can handle Incineroar a little bit better. So pretty bulky set there. Bocephus, Assault Vest, and Electros. Discharge over Thunderbolt for the chance of paralysis. This set right here, this Timid with the 28 in speed, makes where I outspeed base 60 Pokemon by just one speed point, which does not apply to many of his Pokemon, but um, I know it'll help me be a little bit faster. For example, if he brings like Wishcash or something like that, I will outspeed the Wishcash and be able to hit it with a Giga Drain before it hits me with anything, and so that could come in handy there. U-turn pretty much just for the momentum. Does a little bit of damage to things like Sceptile, but really that's more so I can just get in and out. Flamethrower, good for like the Sceptile and the Cryogonal and things like that. So that is what I am bringing. Why I am bringing it. I don't know how confident I am in this team. I wish I had a little bit more time to sit and build, but I know Caleb and I are playing a little bit later today. So I've been on a bit of a time crunch, but I think we've got the right players here. I just have to make sure that I get them in at the right times and don't make any rash decisions. And I think we might have a pretty good chance of, taking this one home. And then hopefully, like I said, I don't miss any focus blasts or anything like that. Rafiki is running Rock Slide. I have missed a Rock Slide in this league already to, pretty devastating consequences. So hopefully I don't miss any of my moves this time. But that is what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. And I'll get connected with Caleb a little bit later and we'll go ahead and finish up and hopefully have a good match for you guys. So thanks for watching. Bye.